So as I continue with this fan map or whatever it is of the land of Oz, I'm doing these little graded circles that sort of represent hills. And as I look at the hills that are maybe adjacent to mountains, it's kind of a different scenario than ones that are in the middle of the plain. So you've got this low-lying flat area, and the hills are just sort of there in the middle. When they're adjacent to the mountains, it's reasonable to assume that these hills might be a little bit taller, that they're pre-mountains, so to speak. So I think what I'm going to do is make a few adjustments there. So I'll do what I had previously done. I'll go ahead and I will just kind of erase these hills in general. I'll erase most of that, make it go away. Um, I'll leave a little bit in the middle as sort of a marker as to where that hill is kind of centered. And then we'll go ahead and we'll add a circle, do my circle select tool. I can make a circle. And one of the things I can do is I can kind of play around with the tone that we have here. Um, so I'll go ahead and just make this a little bit lighter than what I've been previously doing with some of the other hills. I'll go ahead and do my gradient tool, and I will go ahead and change this to, I'll just do the foreground to background RGB. That should be fine. And I'll just go ahead and select. I can play around with this if I want to play around with the shape of the tool, the small circle. And I'll hit enter. And I'll do the same thing here. So make another circle. Maybe have them overlap or just barely touching a bit. Same thing, except maybe I'll lighten this up even more. Go ahead and hit OK. Change to my gradient tool and go ahead and select that and play around with that until I'm happy with it. So now if I go ahead and just kind of fit the image to the screen, you can see that, let's do a select all, that it's kind of hard to tell, but these hills are slightly higher than these hills just because the lighter coloration of the top of the hill. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do something like that with some of these. And maybe I'll make these even a little bit larger yet. But just that way I can get sort of different heights of different hills and have some that are a little bit taller and a little bit shorter.